if this happened to my family, someone making decisions for my son, and I don't get to have a say. These are the things we really need to discuss. So, like I said, if you were listening to this and you have a kid in college and you didn't do this, do it right away. If you have friends who have kids who are turning 18, talk to them. Discuss this with them. See if they've done this. Maybe some people just aren't thinking about it like, oh, I'm their parent. I have the right to, talk to the doctors. Not when they're 18. They're legally an adult. After that, in the eyes of the law, you have no say. So talk to your friends, make sure they have the right things in place. We just want our kids to be safe. That's it. So, like I said, medical proxy or power of attorney, medical power of attorney. So, like I said, depending on where you are, a living will. Yet again, depending on where you are, a living will might be included in the medical power of attorney, an all-encompassing HIPAA form, a durable power of attorney, which gives you the rights to things that are not medical, and like I said, is divisive, is controversial. Hi everyone, I'm Lexie Callies. Do you feel the squeeze of caring for an elderly loved one and school-aged children? Then welcome to the Sandwich Stories. Let's dig in. Hi everybody, it's Lexie Callies with Sandwich Stories. I hope you're having a really great week. This week we're going to actually put on my mom hat and friend hat and not so much caregiver hat. So, end of the school year is coming up. I have so many friends who have children who are older than my son, and they are getting ready to send their children off to college. And I want to put out there that it is so much fun to have that last senior trip, pick out stuff for the dorm, get all excited, get ready for a sorority or fraternity or whatever your child is going to do in college. There's so much fun things, but we need to remember to be safe. And I want to talk about some forms and legal things that you need to do with your kids before you ship them off to school. One is either, some people call it a medical proxy or a medical power of attorney. You as a parent must get this the minute your child turns 18. So if you have an 18-year-old right now, you need to have this. What it means is that if anything, God forbid, happens to your child, you have the right to make decisions. If you do not have this in place, hospitals can't talk to you. Doctors can give you vague things. If you try, the hospital will become the guardian of your child and make decisions for them. And if you want to contest it, you have to go to court, which could take months. And you don't know, depending on what happened with your child, if there was a horrible accident, maybe you don't have months, but you've had discussions with your kids in the past, but nothing has been put in a legal document to show the hospital that you as a parent have the right to make decisions for your adult child. Once they are 18, they are 100% adults. They don't act like it, but they are, especially in the eyes of the law. These are some of the things that you need to think about. So, like I said, medical proxy or medical power of attorney, sometime depending on where you are, determines what it's called. Also, a living will. Sometimes this is included in your medical power of attorney. This is not the last will and testament of your child. This is a living will saying that this is what they want if something should happen to them. So they have said, if I am in a coma and there could be a possibility of me coming out of it, give me X amount of time. They are stating as adults what they want if something should happen to them, that they become incapacitated and they cannot make decisions for themselves medically. Also, you need a HIPAA. You can go to your lawyer. You can have your child fill out a HIPAA form that is all-encompassing. I know when we go to the doctor's office, a lot of times there's a form for HIPAA and it says you can talk to my mom, you can talk to, in my case, my husband, whatever it is. That is a form for that one particular doctor. You can get a legal HIPAA form that through your lawyer, and it is all encompassing. And so then you can go to any medical facility stating that you have the legal rights to talk to that doctor, and that doctor is not breaking HIPAA, that the child has given, your child has given you permission to talk to them. The other thing, not always necessary, but something to think about. I know some parents do this, some parents don't. This is kind of a, it's kind of a divisive idea. There is a form you can fill out that says that your children's professors at their university can talk to you. So, like I said, this is divisive. There are some parents who say, I am paying for school, I am paying for everything, and I have the right to discuss things with my child's professor. And then there are other people who say, you know what, my parents don't pay for anything. I do everything myself. I get loans, I get this. I don't have a good relationship with my parents, whatever it is. And the children do not want to fill this out. So that is something that you might want to discuss with your child. If that is something that you feel really strongly about, that's a kind of murky one to say. But for sure, 100%, you need a medical proxy, a living will, a legal HIPAA document that's all encompassing. Another one is also a durable power of attorney. So if your child becomes incapacitated and you need to be able to get into their bank account, you need to be able to get into their email, whatever it is, a durable power of attorney says that you are working in their best interest, that you have the legal right to access financials. And that is also something that you should have for your children. I know for a lot of parents, this is really hard to discuss. Nobody wants anything to happen to their children. You want them to go off to college, you want them to live a wonderful, happy life, but it does happen. Accidents happen. Children don't always make the right decisions. There are nefarious people out there that want to harm our children, especially young girls. They want to go after those girls having a good time. Maybe, they can almost sniff them out. They know the kids that are first times out without being under the thumb of mom and dad, and maybe they're at a club, maybe they're having drinks, whether they're supposed to be having drinks or not having drinks, because of their legal age, and people are putting things in their drinks and going after them. It is super, super scary, but it needs to be discussed. These are things you don't want to send off your precious baby off to another state, or off to, God forbid, not even God forbid, sorry, off to another country, depending on where they got accepted. Or if they decide to take a gap year and they want to travel the world. These are all things you need to have in place so that if anything should happen, you can help them. You can make the decisions that your family has discussed, the decisions that are important to your family. Doctors can agree with you, hospital admins can agree with you, but that doesn't mean that they're going to do what you want them to do if these things are not in place, because in the eyes of the law, that is what they have to go after. They have to say, the eyes of law said this person is an adult. You are not in place. You don't have all of these things in place. And so we cannot discuss this with you. You are not allowed to make these decisions. And we need to appoint guardianship for this patient. I mean, I can't imagine if this happened to my family. someone making decisions for my son, and I don't get to have a say. These are the things we really need to discuss. So, like I said, if you were listening to this and you have a kid in college and you didn't do this, do it right away. If you have friends who have kids who are turning 18, talk to them. Discuss this with them. See if they've done this. Maybe some people just aren't thinking about it like, "Oh, I'm their parent. I have the right to, talk to the doctors." Not when they're 18. They're legally an adult. After that, in the eyes of the law, you have no say. So, talk to your friends, make sure they have the right things in place. We just want our kids to be safe. That's it. So, like I said, medical proxy or power of attorney, medical power of attorney. So, like I said, depending on where you are, a living will. Yet again, depending on where you are, a living will might be included in the medical power of attorney, an all-encompassing HIPAA form, a durable power of attorney, which gives you the rights to things that are not medical, and, like I said, is divisive, is controversial. It's like, oh shoot, the name of it has flittered out of my head, but it's like a HIPAA form, but for education. And so that way you can speak to your children's professors. That is, like I said, controversial. I have my own thoughts on that. My son's not in college yet, so maybe my thoughts will change later, but right now I have different thoughts. So yeah, those are the things I want to talk about today that I think are super important. And I hope you find them important. I still want you to have fun. I still want you to take those senior trips, have that great end of high school experience with your kids. Um, get them ready and excited for college, but make sure they're safe. I mean, I made dumb decisions when I was in high school and college, and I turned 18 when I was still in high school. I didn't have any of these things in place. Surprisingly enough, I don't ever remember signing anything like this when I was 18. And maybe laws have changed since then. I mean, it was a long time ago. But that's okay. It was, what, 27 years ago since I graduated high school. So, maybe things have changed. I don't know, but I know for sure I did not sign this until I was a little older. And I had a really weird fear of having something happen to me, going into a coma, and the idea that I could have come out of the coma, but someone decided to let me pass early. I had this weird fear about that. And so I discussed this with my mom. She humored me. She put it when we did sign a medical power of attorney. She did put that in there, that these were my wishes in my living will. And, I didn't need it, but now my husband knows the same things, and they're listed in our living will and medical power of attorney when it comes to my husband. So anyway, but yeah, those are the kinds of things that I thought about. But yeah, I know I didn't sign any of these things, and I made dumb decisions. There are times I look back and I'm thinking, Lexie, you're dang lucky nothing happened to you in X, whatever that might be. So, kids don't always think right away. They're not always, they're having a good time. Maybe they're a little impaired. They're just not thinking in the right way. And like they've always said, now children's brains are not fully developed until they're 26. So when you are 18, you are still making some dumb decisions. And, you're just not thinking ahead as to, oh my gosh, if I do this, this could happen. So keep your kids safe. Get out there, get those forms, still have fun with your kids over the summer. And like I said, if you have 18-year-olds in your house right now and you have not done this, please call the lawyer and get this done. It's not expensive. You can do it, and just check it off the list. Okay. Song of the week is going to be by the Zac Brown Band, Free. I like this song. It's about love. It's about being with the person that you love and just that feeling of being with the person that you're supposed to be with. So if you haven't heard it, it's a country song, Zac Brown Band, free. Get out there, listen to it. Maybe hug the person you love. Maybe it'll help you find the person you love. You never know what will help you find the person you love or that you need in your life. So song of the week, Zac Brown Band, free. Okay? Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Sandwich Stories. I really hope you learned some new things and enjoyed it. If you did, tell a friend, tell your mom, tell your sister, tell your dad, tell everybody you know to also listen. Maybe they'll learn some new things, how to help each other out, and find us at Sandwich Stories Podcast. Thanks so much.